back in the day, because not everyone had a TV, so we all used to come to Max and you watch the TV there, you watch the game there. Then people started opening bars, and so I didn't have to have a TV at home, or I could have a shitty service at home, and then I'll just sort of go and say, and it was part of the social gathering, that societal thing about getting together. What has happened, in my view, and what I think is going on, is now people, and this is even before pre-pandemic, people just sort of said, you know what, sometimes I want to watch the game at home. Sometimes, but what we're also seeing, a lot of the drivers for this are for parents wanting their kids to learn to speak a certain way, to see the world in a different perspective. And so then the kid is not always saying Mustafa Yankubiye Ginger. Like, that's not, I mean, you want your child to say that, but you also want them to know Tom and Jerry and Paw Patrol, and because it helps children with articulation and accenting, and sort of introducing new words to them, and sort of expanding their universe. So those are some of the things. So that need, but also the prestige. There's prestige of it. So if you live at Bellwether and you have a small antenna, guys are like, you really should have a dish, you know.
Even the landlord is like, will this one be able to make next month?
Shall we really? Because you see, that's another thing, and we discount it a lot, but the aspiration of where we want to be. So you see, when you go and you see your auntie's house like that, and it's set up that way, you say, you know what, when I make it, this is sort of how I want to be. You sort of define the universe like that, and I think that's quite interesting for young people, and what that does then is it feeds the growth for the product. So good, but that's all secondary. So there is external factors. So we're talking about the demographics. We talk about rising incomes. You talk about, but I think what's really interesting for us, what we've seen is great content, and great content is, you know, I mean, so it's great content in itself is great, but great exclusive content drives sort of. So if you're the only one who has access to the Champions League, or you're the only one who has Formula One, or you're the only one who has, you know, certain golf matches or tennis matches, or, you know, the NBA. It's true, if you sit at home, you can get an NBA pass for them. But then guys like, but you know what? I could actually watch the game. Or stuff like UFC. Because that stuff is actually growing. So we're seeing a rise in the number of people who enjoy wrestling, who enjoy UFC, boxing. But the rise, I guess, and this is, it's like it starts out like a niche, but then they become waves. So the enjoyment of combat sports is something that we're seeing a rise in as well. So to go back and sort of circle back in my long story and answer your question, the growth is, there are external factors, which are, you know, sort of incomes, urbanization, people looking for good quality entertainment, people looking to take care of their kids. But then there's internal factors. The same people who listen to Joe Rogan want to say, because when he reviews a fight, they say, you know what, I want to see what Amanda Nunes did. Exactly. And they want to come back into that and sort of, and be able to relate with the universe, because the interests are no longer limited up to, you know, to against Wamala, like that's not their universe anymore. So because their universe is bigger, their expectations and desire to see and learn from the world is bigger. And if you're collecting and collating that information and bringing it to people, I think that there's space for growth.